right, hello everyone. Sorry for we got some technical problem minutes ago. So we are back online. Thank you for joining today's CyberLink webinar. My name is Steven. I'll be the host today, and today I'm hosting with my colleague Tony. Both of us will help us. We'll do some demonstrations and introduction of PowerDirector and PhotoDirector, and we'll teach you how to use these two of our flagship product to create amazing travel videos and photos for your trips. So before we getting started, we want to say hello to all the participants all over the world. So now it's 10 o'clock, 10 past 10 in Taipei, which is CyberLink's headquarters. And it's now it's a Wednesday nighttime in US, right? In US and Canada. So we hope you can have a nice sleep after this course. And we also got some participants from Australia and New Zealand. So it's your Thursday afternoon. You're almost at the same time zone as us, but a little bit faster. And we'll be repeating this course tomorrow for UK participant and European participant. So it will be there Friday lunchtime. So if you're seeing the repeated course, we hope you enjoy your fish and chip together with our wonderful webinars. Okay, so a quick catch up of today's course. So today, we'll be going through two of our products, and we'll show you how to use PowerDirector to make photo slideshows from all your travel photos, and also using Sim Designer, which is another of our cool photo editing, another of our cool template-based video slideshow creator, which can help you create 3D animated video slideshows with PowerDirector. And in the second part, we will walking you through the time-lapse video. I myself will be introducing you some steps of how to make time-lapse video from your photos and how to merge them into a complete travel record and adding some stylish titles and effect to your travel video. And lastly, we want to have a quick walkthrough of our photo editing app, PhotoDirector, which can help you manage your travel photos as well as editing all of your travel photos on your trip. All right, so I think it's almost time to start. So let's welcome Tony to help us present the video editing part.
All right, so let's start with something real simple. So my name is Tony. I will be helping you to go over how to make a wonderful, impressive slideshow videos using PowerDirector. So we'll start from something real basic, and then move on with more advanced techniques. So first of all, so I believe when you come back home from holidays, you're going to have a lot of photos from your camera, in your memory card. The thing with the photo is that it's usually a headache. You don't want to show photos to your friends and family, share to them. The one-by-one experience is a little bit too too quiet. So let us put them into a beautiful slideshow for them to enjoy your trip or your journey from your holidays. So I got a batch of photos that was from my colleague's trip. So he went to Japan. He took a lot of nice photos here. Let's try to make a nice slideshow using PowerDirector. So let's start with something real basic, like I said. So for more experienced users, you're probably familiar with like the full timeline editors. But today we'll use something very straightforward. So launch your PowerDirector 13. And you'll be greeted by this launch UI, and then just click on the slideshow creator. This is the tool we're going to use it today. Okay, so once slideshow creator is launched, and then you can see on top there are 4 simple steps for you to produce the slideshow. So of course, first step, you need to import all your videos. So there's several different ways to do it. You can import videos through the file explorer or find the folders. The most straightforward way for me is to just drag and drop from your camera memory card or your USB device, drag and drop, and put them into the slideshow creator. Okay, so this is the slideshow creator with all your contents here. So during the first session, I'm going to show you that how to work with photos. And the next one, I'll show you to work with photos plus videos. That is more advanced. So let's go over the simple stuff first. So let's go to next. And then on the second step, you get to choose different templates for your slideshow. So here you get to choose from 13 different templates. Each one of them has different styles and look and feel. You're welcome to experience them and just play with them. You don't need to render the entire thing. You can always see how they look like in the third step, which is the preview. So you don't really need to spend a lot of time waiting for the rendering to happen. Everything should happen in real time. So let's go ahead and select the cell template. This is the one I like a lot. It's contemporary, it's pretty sleek. And then always with all the slideshows, there's you wanted to include the background music with it to add in the atmosphere. So let's select one music file here. So it will work with MP3 files, regular WAV files. So any background songs you wanted to include, you can add them here. And then let's take a look at this bottom two options. So this is the place you get to have controls over how the slideshow is going to present all the holiday photos you have. So for example, here in the slideshow preference, basically you get to choose that how you wanted the photos to show in different sequences. So for example, that you can choose that you wanted the photo to show up in order of how you import them. So that's by timeline. Or I think personally, I like this option a lot, the date and time taken. So basically, this will show the photo in sequence as if you are taking the photos during your journey. So this really makes a good storytelling, a way to do storytelling with the slideshow. And you get to see the option. There's one more checkbox at the bottom, says detect faces. This is here. I'm encouraged that you do check this box for the slideshow you try to create. The reason is we do face detection on your holiday personal photos, and when we put the photos into the template, you'll see later on in the next step, sometimes your photo will be cropped automatically because the template has different sizes, different layouts. By detecting the faces, we ensure that your photos the characters or your friends or even yourself in the photo will not be cropped. Your face will not be cropped in half or a part of it. So this will ensure the quality of the photos being presented in the slideshow. And then the duration, of course, if you wanted to fit your entire slideshow to the music, or you want to fit your music to the slideshow length, either way, we have a very flexible option for you to choose from. So let's go ahead and hit OK. And then music preferences. So here is a tool for you to trim down the music. So for example, you have maybe a very lengthy background music. You only want to use a portion of it. You can do that. You can trim down using this mark-in, mark-out marker, the yellow marker on top, or you can just leave it alone. You can preview it here. You can add fade in, fade out effects to it. So very nice effect. So just to make the entire thing very elegant and sleek. So once we got set up with all the slideshow options, then we go to the next step. So in this step, like I said, the engine will go through all your photos, do the face detection, make sure that your face doesn't get cropped during the slideshow generation. And then you put all the slideshow in sequence, apply templates, put them into and add the fancy animation around it. And then here you get this preview window. So let's go ahead and do a quick preview on this one. So you can see the slideshow is being put into the cell grid. So this is the template we selected. And the animations are added in between photos and photos. So you get a very nice viewing experience from this. And then, of course, we don't stop here, because we know that you want to have full control. You want to have the flexibility over the slideshow you're going to create. So we have a customize button at the bottom right here. So let's click on that and see what kind of option we have. So basically, in this customized window, you get the option to really have full controls over how your slideshow will be played out, in the final production. So for example, this is the first frame or the first sequence of the slideshow. What if I wanted to have all my friends to be appear in front of the first frame? So you can do simple drag and drop and switch position of the photos. So if you don't like these photos in this particular location or placement, you can swap them out very easily just by drag and drop. And you can check out the sequence by sequence, using this timeline-ish layout at the bottom. So for example, if I wanted to pull more, photos from this sequence, I wanted to swap out this photo right here with my frames in it, I will pull them out. So you got placed in a temporarily placeholder. And then I will swap out with this photo right here. So basically, it's very simple, swap in and swap out, and just go back to the photos that I was here and put it back in. So it was this one, yeah. So it's very easy to do that, and you can fully customize your sequence of slideshow. And then there's the remix button. So this is for more adventurous users. So if you wanted to let the algorithm or the generator to do the sequencing for you, you can click on that. So basically what it does, it will randomize the sequence and reshuffle them into a different fashion and put that back in. So you can try this out multiple times and let the program to generate the slideshow sequence for you. And if you find that the generated result is suitable for your taste, then you can go ahead and click OK, and just let the preview to generate the pre-rendering and check out the result here. So okay, so we just did that very easily, and then we can check out. So I just make the changes, swap out some photos and put some photos in front, and then the rest of the photo will play out as well. And I set the face detection here. So this is what I'm talking about. So during the slideshow, due to different layouts, there will be some croppings. So when the face detection is checked, you'll always see the face in the frame, within the frame. Okay, so then there's the whole duration timer at the bottom for you to check out how long the slideshow is. So this one with the around 20 different photos, this is about 35 seconds in length. And then if you're happy with the preview, just go to next. And then you get the option to actually produce the video. So there are different options. Again, for people who are already familiar with PowerDirector, you can produce the video in different file formats, in 4K, 1080p, or direct upload to YouTube, Vimeo, different options. And you can create a disc on DVDs or Blu-ray and share them as a physical, or give them as a physical gift to your friends and families. They can drop that into their DVD, Blu-ray player, and they can be able to watch the slideshow you created on their big screen TVs. Okay, and then if you wanted to do more editing, this is the next step we're going to do. So you can go into the advanced editing. This will bring the entire slideshow back to your timeline. So here you see the library has all the photos we imported previously. And then this is the slideshow generator created. Now you can check out the preview on this side as well. So usually what you wanted to do is that if you want to add more elements to the slideshow, this is where the place you can do it. So let's do something real simple. How about let us add a titles in front of the slideshow. So let's go into title room right here. And then let's check out all the titles. So with the built-in titles, you have over 100 different type of titles you can choose from. Let's select one. So this is the place you get to preview it. Let's select a very simple one to go with that, with the travel holiday theme. So this is the one I like. So it has a small airplane. So let's drop that into the timeline. So once it's placed in the timeline, you can adjust the length of the title, and you can check out the preview, and then you can change the text and change the style of the font as well. So let's do that. So what you want to do when you want to make changes, just double click on this text object. Okay. Once you double click, you will bring up the text, the title designer for you to do more customization work. So for example, the first thing I want to do is change the text. So let's do Japan. And then since the text is overlaying on top of a busy background or a light background, you want to make the text stand out. The easiest way to do is to add a shadow behind it. So there are a lot of options for you to make changes. You can change the font, you can change size, change color, add reflection, all these different fancy things you can do. But let's do something real simple. Just add a shadow, change the shadow color to black, click OK. And then we want to add more depth to the shadow. So let's add some depth, add the blur effect. So let's redo that again. So let's select the shadow, enable that, select black, and then add distance. And on your preview window, you'll see that shadow being added already. And then you can add some blur effect to the shadow. You can change the intensity of the shadow, and then that's it. You are done. And I'll do the same thing for the text below. Then let's do again the black color. Can add more blur effect. Okay, and that's it. So let's say save, and then okay. So if you like that, you can go back and preview the result, and then you see the airplane flying in with that text. You fully customize yourself. In front of the slideshow. So that's it. So that's the very first session we talk about how to create a slideshow using just photos. Okay, and then the next one is the one I'm going to show you how to do a slideshow using photos plus videos. So this is we call it the motion slideshow, or you can call it a photo video motion slideshow. So this is pretty fancy. So I believe when you're going out for vacations, they're always not that you're only taking photos. All the cameras, even with your cell phones, it's very easy to take full HD videos from your vacation. So this is the materials I'm going to work with. There are some videos here. There's some photos. So before we start, let me show you an example how what I meant by this photo video slideshow. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so this is the video. Okay, so in this video, you get to see your photos. So these are actually your personal photos from your holidays. It could be a video here. There are a lot of fancy effects or animations for the slideshow. There are different transitions. You can customize titles. Like for example, this title. This is an in-sequence title in between. So this is what I meant. You can create really fancy photo video slideshows with this tool. Okay, so let me stop right here and show you exactly how we're going to do it. So again, let us start with PowerDirector, but this time let us use the full feature editor mode. So let's click on that, and then let me remove all these stock photos from my library. I wanted to import my holiday photo and videos into the library. Let's do that. Okay, so once all this material in the library, what you want to do next is click on this icon right here. So this is icon it looks like a jigsaw puzzle. Click on that, select the theme designer, So this is the tool we wanted to use. And then you can check out, there's a lot of different templates in the theme designer. Okay, so the one we are going to use is this thing called travel. So you can preview, you can just select the template right here. You can do a quick preview and see how the template looks like without any in the default state. So for example, right here, you get to see some numbers here. So these are actually areas you can put in your own photos and videos. So let's select that. And the templates always come in different sequences. So usually we have like default sequence of 5. So there's the opening and closing sequences and 3 sequences in between. So we can customize that. I'll show you that in the next step. So let's go ahead and select that first, and you get the default 5 sequences. So what if you wanted to, let's say, add sequence or remove sequence? So it's very easy. If you want to remove a sequence, let's say you only have 10 photos to show, then you want a shorter sequence, you can just right click on a particular sequence and then use the sub menu to remove the selected template. And then done. Then you have full sequence to work with. If you want to add more, you can do that. So using this button right here, you can add back whatever sequence you have, and you can even add sequence from other templates. So it's extremely flexible. You can mix and match different sequences and come up with your very own unique style. But let's go with the default one right here. So make it simple. So let's do that, and then the sequence I just added back, and you can rearrange the position of the sequence. So for example, I want to bring this one back to the middle. Okay, and so let's start with how to build this slideshow. So let's move to this time index right here. Then you get to see that there are some gray area labeled with numbers. So what you will need to do is just need to drag and drop your photos or video into these boxes right here. So for example, I'm dropping a photo of the London Ferris wheel into the box label number 1, and immediately you see that pre-rendered on your preview screen. And then you can do box 2 with a video. So let's do that. And then you can do photos on the 3rd one, and then another photo for the 4th one. So let's check how would that look like on the preview window. So here is all the 4 contents that you have, and here's another photo, and then it moves into the videos right here, and you can preview in real time. So for example, now I'm doing the preview, and you can check out the results. So it's very straightforward, and you can do the rest for the subsequent sequences. But if you want to make things real simple, what you need to do is just do a select all right here. So use Control A, select all the contents in your library, use this button, and then you can autofill the content to all these different boxes. So for example, I just did that, and we can check out sequence 2. It automatically filling up with the photos and videos from your media library. So it's very simple, very straightforward, and then if you like, you can just preview the entire thing using this button right here. Okay, now it's doing the preview, and then while I'll let the preview continue to play, and while it's doing that, you notice there's some titles. You can change that. So for example, let's go with London, and then immediately you see that the text is changed to the text you just entered right here. And for the background music, you will have full control as well. You can change the background music to with imported ones. So you can choose whatever background music of your preference. So if you like that, you see everything is in place, and then you can click OK. And then done. This thing will be generated and put back to your timeline. So this entire block is that photo video slideshow you just created. So you can also do the preview here, and then see how the results turn out. And then the photo we just drop in, another photo, and then another photo, and then the video. Yeah. And of course, if you wanted to you know, either you change your mind, is there another set of photos you want to add in, or you want to play with the sequence of the photos and videos, you can always change that. You can always go back. So what you need to do is just click on this block right here. It brings up the sub menu, and then just click on the theme designer again. It will notify you you're going to edit the sequence. Are you sure? Say yes. And then you bring back that the theme designer interface, and then all these settings you've done previously are there. Then you can make changes. It's very easy, very straightforward. If you want to make things real fancy, there's several things you can do. So for example, if for the videos, you can trim the length of the video, so you have better controls over the length of the entire slideshow. So maybe you have videos of like a minute or 3 minutes, 5 minutes. In order to keep control of the overall length, maybe you just want to extract part of the video to make the tempo or the pace faster. You can do that. So you can trim the video here and click OK. And then once the slideshow goes to the video portion, you actually just play the part where you extract it out. Okay, and then you can all add effects as well. So for example, from sequence to sequence, you can add transition effects. So let's say I wanted to add an effect right here in between sequence 1 and 2. I can add transitions. Let's do a very simple blur effect, and then click OK. And then if you go back to sequence one, and then let's play the entire thing. So before it goes into sequence 2, you actually blur out and go into sequence 2. So there's actually a lot of customization you can play with to ensure that it will come up with the result exactly how you wanted it. So if you're happy with that, you can click OK, and then all the settings you have applied will be kept. And then you can check out preview here. And if you're happy, you can go ahead and produce it or create a disk. So basically, that's the more advanced way to do a photo plus video slideshow, and the result turnout is actually amazing. Whenever I show this video slideshow to a friend of mine or for families, their jaw just dropped. They will see, how many hours were you spending on this? This is so fancy. There's a lot of different elements into it. How did you make this? But I always kept the secret. I say, yeah, it's cool. So this is just for you, right? But the reality is you can use PowerDirector to do this in less than 3-5 minutes. It's straightforward. It's simple. Okay, so I'm going to end my session with PowerDirector here. My colleague Steven, he's going to come up and talk about time-lapse. So he's the expert, and he's a very experienced camera guy. So let's welcome Steven.
All right, this is Steven speaking. I'm back again, and I was a guy who was answering your question. Now it's Tony's turn to answer your question on the chat room, and it's my demo time. Okay, so following, I'll walk you through the tips of making time-lapse as promised. So I don't know how many of you have seen a time-lapse or have you taken a time-lapse. And anyone have seen the BBC TV series, Sherlock Holmes, the latest Sherlock Holmes? That at the opening credit is actually a very nice example of a time-lapse video that it is recording the fast-moving clouds or the fast-moving London Eye as a background. So time-lapse, you can imagine it's like 30 times or 25 times faster forwarding video. So you can see a lot of things moving faster than their original speed. For example, the moving of clouds on sunrise, sunset, or the flower blossoming, or like the car running on the street in the city, etc. So here we'll give you a quick example of what the time-lapse video is looking like. So this video I actually recorded in several places in Taipei City, where I'm living right now. So this one is Taipei 101, the landmark in Taipei. So you can see the car is moving super fast, faster than the speed they're supposed to be. So time-lapse is actually a very good way to keep your travel memories, so that you can say, I like to condense my travel videos in a super fast speed, not like a slow moving one. So time-lapse is usually a format I keep my travel records. Okay, so before we start, I want to quickly walk you through what the formula behind the time-lapse video. So as we say that time-lapse is composed by a series of photos being taken in a fixed interval. So for example, if I'm taking 1 photo per second, which means for 6 minutes, I'll get totally 360 photos. Then when I want to make it in time-lapse, for example, if my timeline is in 30 frames per second, then the 360 photo will help me generate 12 seconds of time-lapse video. And the same way, if you're setting your frame rate, the timeline frame rate to 24 frames per second, then you will get 15 seconds of time-lapse video. So that's how it works. Then actually there are many ways to take time-lapse. So we'll walk you through what the tools are needed for taking time-lapse. The most important thing, the first, is you need to have a tripod. So that with a tripod, whether you're using a DSLR or camera or even your phone, then you can always get the stable image, the stable photos being recorded. And if you're on a trip, you don't want to have take a heavy tripod, then you probably can consider a small one, a pocketable one like this one from Joby. Okay, the second is your camera. So the first condition is that what if your camera don't have the built-in time-lapse mode? Some of the older DSLRs from Nikon or Canon, they actually don't have the built-in time-lapse mode. So this higher end or middle end model supports the timer remote controller, which can help you to release the shutter and the fixed speed. So if you're using this type of model, please check with your manufacturer whether it's supporting the timer control or not. All right, and the second way, some of the later model, like for example, myself is using a Panasonic Lumix GM1. It's already having the built-in time-lapse shooting mode, or also other Panasonic model and Sony model already got the built-in time-lapse mode. So if you're buying a new camera and you're interested in taking time-lapse video, you probably can consider these newer models. All right, and the third way, it's the simplest way. If you're having a GoPro or a HTC Re, this kind of a spokes camera, or even if you're having an iPhone, that iPhone starting from iOS 8 and upper version, it already got the built-in time-lapse shooting mode. So you can even take a time-lapse video with this device. So the condition 1 and 2 actually are taking photos and converting them to time-lapse video. And condition 3 is taking photo and merging it to time-lapse video directly. And I'll quickly show you later why we prefer using photos to create time-lapse instead of using videos directly. So back to our shooting instructions. So before you take the time-lapse sequence, there are 2 things very important you need to know. The first one is that once you get correct focus point of your photo, then please switch it to manual focus mode, so that your lens wants to autofocus when there are objects moving around in your time-lapse photo shooting sequence, which will make your video looking glitchy after generated. And the second thing is the same. Make sure you set you set your camera to manual modes to fix the shutter speed and the aperture. Because there in many occasions, for example, if you're taking the sunrise, sunset, then the light condition is changing a lot. So if you're using the auto mode or the aperture mode, then I mean your shutter speed or your shooting condition will be varied by the light condition, so which will make your video also not stable. So make sure that you have manual focus and the manual aperture and shutter speed so that you can get a stable image. All right, then why we're using photos to create time-lapse instead of video? The first thing is that on a camera, there are versatile shooting modes. For example, if you're having a smaller aperture, plus a longer shutter speed, then you can get the nicely looking car track like on this photo. And if you are merging all this photo together to a time-lapse video, and you will be looking super cool, that's something you cannot record with a video camcorder. Right? And the second one is that if you're taking time-lapse from the photo, which means the photo resolution you get is usually much higher. For example, 2 million resolution photo is already like a 2K ready video resolution, and not to mention that now most of the cameras are already taking photo like a 12 million pixels, etc. So if you got this kind of higher resolution source, which means you can generate a higher resolution time-lapse video, and in some condition, for example, if I'm editing them and cutting them to a full HD resolution video, then I can do some trim and cut on those higher resolution clips, and without making the final rendered result looking bad. All right, so that's the introduction of time-lapse video. So let's get started to making time-lapse with PowerDirector. Okay, so here's a photo sequence that I take 309 photos, which means it is in total, it can help me generate 15 seconds of time-lapse video with PowerDirector in the 30 FPS mode. So to create the time-lapse video from PowerDirector, just turn it on and select all the image and drag it to your media room. You can see all these photos are being sorted, arranged in the name sequence. So next, select all the photos and drag and drop to your timeline. And in this case, each photo is setting to 5-second duration, but this is not what we want. So we want to set, remember, we want to have one photo per frame. So next you can click on slideshow and select the last one. You already see this interface in Tony's demo. So actually time-lapse is one of the slideshow templates. Okay, so click next. Then you can further customize that how many image I want to have in one frame. So for example, I'm setting here like one image per frame so that it will fit to my shooting condition, saying one photo per frame, and one photo is being taken in 1 second, this kind of condition. Okay, and click OK, then click next. Then click advanced editing. Then this time-lapse object will be taken to your timeline. So we can have a quick preview. We can see the result is a bit glitch. Don't worry, because now we are in a preview mode. And remember, all these sequences were being assembled with like each photo like 2 to 3 mega. So it's pretty heavy. So the render won't going so smooth. But I can show you the final produced result. It will be looking like this. Okay, so you can see the people are walking in super fast speed and the cloud is moving very fast. This looks like a pretty nice end result. And another tip for you to set your project, because this photo I'm taking in 3:2 ratio, so that you can see 2 black edges by 2 sides of the video. So usually I will just switch them to 4:3 template so that the dark edge will be showing on the top and down, which will help me easier to trim it down or editing it in the editing mode when I want to do a 16:9 project. Then go to produce. As we say that you can always produce higher resolution time-lapse video that for you to have the most flexibility and to crop or zoom or pan if you want to edit in another project. So PowerDirector already support the 4K profile, so you can go to H.264 AVC. So you can choose either M2TS, MP4, or MKV format, or HEVC or XAVCS. It all got 4K profile for you to output. So for example, if I'm choosing MPEG 4, you can see here's MPEG 4 4K then I can produce this one so that I'll get 4K resolution video footage. Okay, so if there's no questions so far for creating a single time-lapse video, next we will show you how to assemble these videos in a big project. So here I'll quickly show you an example what we will do next. Okay, so these are actually some clips I recorded in the past few months in Taipei City. Okay, so I'll show you how to edit them in the correct sequence I want, how to make them in this huge video project. So I open up PowerDirector. Okay, I have a half-finished project here because most of the process are duplicated, so I want to do them all by one. So I'll quickly walk you through the PowerDirector interface. So here on the left side, it's your media room where you can place all your source media at, including your music, photos, or video, or whatever. And the same, you can find video effects in the effect room and the PIP objects in the object room, and titles. Tony showed you before that how to add a title here. So here is like a resource bank for all your PowerDirector. And the right side, this side, it's a preview window. So you can do a real-time preview for your editing project in this window. And the bottom side is the it's a timeline. You can imagine it's a workspace or the desktop of your video editing project. So what it's in the front sequence in the timeline will show up first in your video, and you play the next, the third, the fourth, and etc. And also we have different layers. We say timeline tracks. So for example, you see here are 5 tracks in this project. So just remember, the larger track number means the upper object. So for example, if in this frame I'm having a title here, okay, and the video here, then this title will be overlaying on this video. So that's a quick walkthrough for the for the timeline interface. So let's getting started. I'll do 2 demos in this part. So I hope it's not too fast. I know some of you are complaining we are going a little bit fast. Oh, by the way, we'll be uploading this video tomorrow on YouTube. So if you think today's pass is too fast for you, then you can always come back to check the video tomorrow. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, remember that in the demo video at the beginning, I have this kind of blur background, okay, and having some object overlaying on it. And all out of a sudden that the video like zooming in and making super clear. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. So first of all, I will drag an object on my timeline, which is this video. Okay, and the next, I want this video to look blurred, so I can go to the effect room and search for blur effect. I find this Gaussian blur. I can drag it and drop it on this clip. So now the whole clip looks super blurred. But I want it to be less blurred, be clear at the second part of the video. How can I do it? Then I'll show you how. Okay, one thing I forgot to say that because this clip is too long, so I want to trim it down. Then you can just click on the double side of the video and drag it around, so you can trim down the video to make it shorter. Okay, so once it's done, I can go click on this clip and go to effect. So you can see the Gaussian blur effect is being applied on this video. Then I want to do the next thing is that using a keyframe to control the degree of the effect being applied on this clip. So I click on keyframe. So what is keyframe? Keyframe means the frame I want to control the motion. So for example, if in frame 1 and frame 10, And frame 1, the condition is 1, and frame 10, the condition is 10. Then a keyframe will help you to insert the gradually changing condition in the in-between frame, I mean the frame 2 to 9 in your project. So it's widely used in the animation and the video editing. So to control keyframe, you can see here in the effect room, there's a keyframe mark. So at the beginning and at the end of the video clip, I want to add a keyframe. So you can see to add a keyframe, just drag this cursor to whatever point you want and click on this mark, you can add a keyframe. So let's say I want to have the blur effect to 4 seconds. Then it started to change it to clear in 4.5 seconds. So I can insert 2 keyframes here. Then here's the magic. You can see on scroll to each keyframe that this little mark will turn in red. So at the beginning, I want the effect be very strong. Let's say it at 30. And I want this effect to continue until second 4. So here is also 30. Sorry. Okay, so second 4 is also 30. But starting from second 4.5 second, I want the effect totally gone. So I can set it to 0. And the last one, set it to 0 as well. Okay, so you can now see how it looks like. The beginning part is blurred, but starting from here, you suddenly zoom in and make become super clear. So this is the effect I want. I can close it here. Okay, and the second part, remember that we tell you that we are generating a higher resolution video. So it's where is this? Didn't see it. Okay, so I'll find that video. Hold on a second. Okay, so this one was the video I just generated in this park. And I can drag it and drop it to timeline. So as you can see that when putting to timeline, actually that it leaves a lot of edges. It's not fitting the workspace quite well. So how can I how can I resize it to fit the whole window? Double click on it and I can scale up, fit these 2 edges by the side. Okay, so now it's in full frame. Then the next thing I want to control it a little bit. I want to have it being like pen down a bit. So I can set the same, it's a keyframe that I can set the position in the beginning and position in the end. So the first frame at the beginning, I want it to be focusing more on the cloud part, while the last one, it's like centered on the building. And the same, I can do the scale for also both frames. So at the beginning frame, I set a keyframe. I want it to be larger. Resize it, and the less of the frame, I want it to fit to two edges. So click save. Let's see how it looks like. Okay. So you can see here, it's looking like this way. Oh, it's a bit slow. Sorry, I'll do it again. I set the preview quality lower. Sorry, I'm demonstrating with the Ultrabook, so it's not its performance is not that pleasing with PowerDirector. Okay, so let's see how the video will be looking like. So you can see it's like slowly moving in, moving in, moving in. That's the effect I want. Okay, then next I already assembled these two. I want to add a transition in between these two clips. So you can see I can add a little airplane. want to add this little transition effect between these two clips. I can drag it and drop it between these two clips. Then it's done. We can have a quick review again. Okay, cool. All right, then next I'll show you how to do the PIP object, how to overlay the object to my video. So the first thing, that PIP object is like any object. It's a graphic or a video that you can overlay it layer over layer. So for example, I want to choose this one, and I want it to overlay on my video. So I can drag it to track 2. So you can see this little globe is being like overlay on my video. And the second, you see this chromatic look titles in my demo video, and how to do that. You can go to title room, and we got the pretty cool plugin from NewBlue, professional plugin. Okay, a professional plugin supplier that which can help you generate pretty nice looking titles. So I can drag this object to the timeline, and how to edit that. Double click on it, then you can see this is title room's editing interface. So first thing, you can type in your text here. Okay, and how about the styles? You can go to the library. There are some styles, effects, and transitions for you to choose. So style is what the text, the texture will be looking alike. Okay, so you can select, I usually like to use this one, Chrome, and I can drag it on here. So you can see the font size and the color will being applied already. Okay, then next you can see that I'm having a beginning and ending effect in my original video. So I can add the transition effect to the clips. Sorry, should be go to the transitions. So they are pretty nice transition to choose. You can go to transitions, animations. So usually I like the fading effect. So they are like fading by letters, linear fading, or pop by letters, and smooth, etc. So I choose a word by word. So this all around the world would like showing up like one by one. Okay, and the closing of the effect, I'm choosing another one. I like this city light that is like flicking, and the words will gone away. So I choose this power on in the end of the clip. Okay, looks pretty nice. Then you also see in my source clip that I'm having the word like a little panning, like it's a 3D text and it's panning around the screen. And how to do that? You can go to Effect, Animation, and select the Turn. So you can see a lot of turning effect. Okay, so I choose this one, slow turn. It looks like the effect I'm looking for. So click on slow turn, drag and drop it to the timeline. So you can see now from left to right, it's like moving this way. Okay, but there's something I want to change, is that in the end of this title, I want the text being showing the center, not the side. So I can I can choose here that starting is like a little bit left, and ending is a fit to the center. Okay, so let's see how it looks like. Yes, that pretty much is what I want. Okay, so to put this to timeline, close it, then you can see this edited text is being overlaid on your video already. Okay, so this is pretty cool, right? So this will be our demonstration for the travel video. And after doing this, you'll get the video looking like this way. Okay, so this is our time-lapse demonstration, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, and well, we are supposed to have a longer demonstration for PhotoDirector, but because we are starting late today, so I won't go into very detail. I'll just having you a quick catch up of what PhotoDirector is, and we'll leave this demonstration to next time's webinar. You don't need to wait for too long because we'll be running our next webinar in July. So we will for sure covering the PhotoDirector section in next time's webinar. Okay, so entering PhotoDirector, it's actually photo editing software from CyberLink that is like a sister product of PowerDirector. So the logic is simple. The library is where you can import all your photos and manage it, like adding text on the photos or doing the face tagging on these photos. Okay, and you can also use some like easy flagging and tagging tool to help you easier finding your photos. And the adjustment tab is sorry. The adjustment tab is where you can tweak with all your colors. So for example, if you got the white balance problem, you can correct here. And you can also do a lot of detailed configurations. Like usually I like the HDR effect that will make the photo look super cool, super dramatic. Okay, so if you already got the PhotoDirector, you can play with it. And if you don't, you can download our trial version. Okay, and preset is another room where you can apply a lot of one-click instant presets to bring different looks to your photos. And you can also download a lot of free presets from Director Zone or free service. I think a lot of PowerDirector users already familiar with it. Okay, so for example, I can apply, these are my customized preset, HDR, looks pretty nice. Okay, and the editing room is another place to mention. It got you some people beautifier tool, so you can like make your portrait look better. And also it got the content aware removal tool. Is you can like, I want to remove this little thing here, then click on apply. Then PhotoDirector will help me to get rid of the unwanted object in my photo. Okay, and also another nicely easy tool for you is that you can also overlay a watermark on your photos. That like adding a line to your photos and adding your signatures, some other of your personalized informations. For example, like this one, I know a lot of people like to add the personalized signature on your photos. Okay, so that's pretty much, it's a PhotoDirector. It's like a 5 minutes super quick walkthrough. Sorry that we actually running out of time today. So I promise that I'll give you the introduction in detail next time. Okay, so that's pretty much is today's demo. And I really hope you enjoyed today's demonstration. And before we close, there something we want to remind you is that the first thing is that if you're watching the webinar from our YouTube channel, you will find a link to the survey to enter a user survey. So that please help us complete that user survey, and you will be getting the chance to win a free PowerDirector and PhotoDirector. We will have a lucky draw tomorrow that whoever finishes the survey can entitled to join this lucky draw. And the second part, I think all of you already got a free coupon, a 15% coupon in your confirmation email. So a quick reminder that if you want to buy PowerDirector, that we are actually having a super nice sale this weekend. You can buy PowerDirector 13 Ultra at $59, and you'll get the bonus audio director and the free bonus travel pack, which in total value is $279. And the best thing is that the coupon, the 15% coupon you got, you can use it on top of this offer, which means that you can get you only need to pay $50 and you can get all this $280 super bundle set for you. And if you already got PhotoDirector and you already got PowerDirector, and you can also use this coupon to buy PhotoDirector or PowerDVD or latest PowerDVD. With that coupon, you can get 15% off discount. So that pretty much is today's presentation. I really wish you all enjoy. We will be having another course in this July, so stay tuned. Please subscribe our YouTube channel, or you can go to cyberlink.com to register as our member so that you can get the latest webinar information from us. So thank you again. It's Steven, and Tony is answering your question on chat room right now. So we hope you enjoy, and thank you. Bye-bye. See you next month.